In 1947, something crashed from the sky in Roswell, New Mexico. The Army said, "Flying saucer." A day later, just a balloon. But the wreckage tells another story. What if aliens were already here and the US government knew all along? In this video, you'll uncover what really happened that night, why they hid the truth, and how it affects you today. From silenced witnesses to secret files, the mystery starts now. Want to know what Uncle Sam doesn't want you to understand? Stick around, the secrets are about to blow open. It's July 2nd, 1947. The New Mexico desert bakes under a scorching sun, but as night falls, the stillness shatters. A thunderous crash echoes across the sands near Roswell. Rancher Mac Brazel hears it. Something's hit his land hard. The next morning, he rides out and freezes. Scattered across the dirt are pieces of something strange. Shimmering metal, thin as foil but tough as steel, etched with symbols no one can read. He calls the sheriff, who calls the Roswell Army airfield. By noon, jeeps roar in, soldiers swarm, and the debris vanishes into locked trucks. What fell that night? The answer came quick, too quick. July 8th, the Roswell Daily Record drops a bombshell headline. RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. The military admits it. A downed UFO recovered intact. Word spreads like wildfire. Locals whisper about bodies pulled from the wreck. Small, gray, not human. Then, in less than 24 hours, the rug's pulled. General Roger Ramey calls a press conference in Fort Worth, parades a mangled weather balloon, and smirks. False alarm, folks. The story flips overnight. Flying saucer becomes a science project gone wrong. The press buys it, the public shrugs, and Roswell fades. But does it? Let's dig deeper. Why did the Army lock down the site so fast? Why the sudden U-turn? Major Jesse Marcel, the guy who picked up the pieces, didn't swallow the balloon line. Years later, he spills it. That stuff wasn't from Earth. It wouldn't bend, wouldn't burn, nothing like the junk Ramey waved around. He says they forced him into that photo op, balloon in hand, to sell the lie. Then there's the locals. Folks like Glenn Dennis, a mortician, who claims the base ordered child-sized coffins that week. Ordered, then canceled. And ranchers? They got visits, uniformed men saying, "Talk, and your kids pay the price." Just a weather balloon. Huh? This isn't some dusty footnote. It's where the cover-up was born. Roswell 1947 isn't about a crash. It's about control. They wanted it gone, out of sight, out of mind. But the whispers didn't stop. The debris? Shipped to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, locked in Hangar 18, or so the rumors go. Why the panic? What did they find that scared them silent? Here's the hook. If they buried this so deep, what else are they hiding? Stay with me, this crash is just the spark. The witnesses saw more, and they paid for it. The debris was gone, but the voices weren't so easy to bury. Picture this. July 1947, Roswell still buzzing. Major Jesse Marcel rolls into town, fresh from the crash site, hands stained with the strangest metal he's ever touched. He's no rookie intelligence officer trained to spot the unusual. Back at the base, he tells his family, "This wasn't ours. It wasn't Russian. It was something else." He's holding pieces that defy logic, light as paper, strong as titanium, etched with glyphs no engineer dreamed up. But when the balloon story drops, he's gagged. Ordered to smile for the cameras, prop up the lie. Did he break? Not quite. Years later, he talks. And he's not alone. Take Glenn Dennis, the local mortician. Days after the crash, he gets a call from the base. "We need small coffins, 3 feet long, sealed tight." His gut twists. Coffins for kids? He asks why. The line goes dead. Hours later, he swings by the base hospital to ask a nurse friend. She's pale, shaking, says she saw them. Bodies, small, gray, big heads, pulled from the wreck. Next day, she's gone. Shipped off, never seen again. Dennis tries to speak. Men in suits show up at his shop. "You didn't see anything," they growl. "Open your mouth, and your bones end up in the desert." Coincidence? Or a leash tightening? Then there's Mac Brazel, the rancher who found it all. He's a quiet guy, not one for tall tales. After reporting the wreckage, he's hauled to the base, held for days. When he comes back, he's different. Won't talk, won't look you in the eye. His neighbors say military trucks parked outside his house for a week. His own kid, Bill, later claims, they scared him silent, said his family'd vanish if he breathed a word. Before the crash, Mac was chatty. After, a ghost. What did they do to him in those locked rooms? What did he see that broke him? These aren't crackpots. These are regular folks caught in something massive. Nurses disappearing, families threatened, stories flipped. The government didn't just clean up a crash. They scrubbed the people too. Why the muscle? If it's just a balloon, why gag a mortician? Intimidate a rancher, muzzle an officer? The whispers say it's bigger bodies, tech, maybe something alive. Every silenced voice is a clue they couldn't erase. Think about it. If they went this hard in 47, what's still out there? Hang on, the files they couldn't burn are up next, and they'll make your skin crawl. The witnesses were hushed, but papers harder to silence. Imagine this. It's 1947, weeks after Roswell's dust settles. A CIA agent sits in a dimly lit office, typing a report that's stamped eyes only. One line jumps out. Materials recovered in New Mexico. Non-terrestrial origin under review. The page gets buried, black ink swallowing half the words, but it's too late. Someone filed it. Decades pass, and the Freedom of Information Act prize opened the vaults. That report's not alone. Thousands of pages, FBI, Air Force, CIA, leak out, dripping with hints they couldn't scrub. What's in them? Let's crack the lid. Start with Project Blue Book, the Air Force's UFO hunt. Launched in 1947, funny timing, right? It logs 12,618 sightings by 1969. Officially, they shut it down, claiming no evidence, no threat. But dig into the numbers. 701 cases stay unidentified. That's not a typo. 701 objects they couldn't explain. One from 48. A pilot over Fargo chases a glowing orb that outruns his plane, spins, vanishes. The report says, unknown craft, extreme maneuverability. Weather balloon? Try again. Blue Book's own head, Captain Ruppelt, later admits, we were told to downplay it. Some cases scared us stiff. Scared of what? Then there's the FBI. July 8, 1947, the same day Roswell's headline hits. A memo lands in J. Edgar Hoover's hands. It reads, Army restricts access to crash site. Materials unlike any known alloy. Hoover scribbles back, why are we locked out? No answer. Another gem. A 1950 FBI file mentions 3 saucers recovered in New Mexico, each with humanoid bodies, 3 feet tall. Redacted chunks hide the rest, but the words slip through. And it's not just old news. In 2021, the Pentagon drops a bombshell: 144 UFOs tracked since 2004, most unexplained. Navy pilots swear they saw crafts defy physics. 90-degree turns, instant jumps, no wings. These aren't rumors, they're ink on government letterhead. Every leak's a fracture in their wall. Roswell's debris? Shipped to Ohio, maybe Nevada, locked in bases you'll never see. Why redact non-terrestrial? Why classify a balloon? The files scream questions they won't answer. If 701 cases stumped Blue Book, if Hoover was shut out, what's still under wraps? Picture the steel cabinets, reports too hot to burn, too wild to fake. Is this proof slipping through the cracks, or just the tip of something massive? Stay tuned, the real conspiracy's next, and it's not just about what crashed. The crash was the spark, the files fan the flames. But what if the fire's still burning? Picture this. It's 1979, deep beneath the New Mexico desert. Philip Schneider, ex-government engineer, stands in a tunnel carved from rock. He's working Dulce Base, a black site rumor says doesn't exist. Then he sees them, tall, reptilian figures, skin like scales, eyes cold as steel. He says they're not visitors. They're partners, trading tech with the military since Roswell. 2 months after he talks, he's found dead, neck crushed, ruled suicide. A lone nut, or a loose end they tied off? Rewind to 47. Roswell wasn't just debris. Insiders whisper something survived. Not just grays, but taller beings, reptilian, pulled from the wreck. Theories swirl. They struck a deal. The US gets anti-gravity, fiber optics, stuff we invented too fast, while they get free rein. Sound wild? Look at the timeline. Post-Roswell, tech leaps, radar, lasers, microchips. Coincidence or reverse engineering from a desert hall. Then there's Dulce. Locals report lights in the sky, cattle mutilations, screams underground. Schneider claimed he shot one of those things before they gunned him down. His story's shaky, but his death's too neat. Now zoom out. Ever heard of the Majestic 12? Leaked docs from the 80s say Truman formed a secret group after Roswell. 12 men to handle extraterrestrial affairs. They're tied to crashes, bases, even silencing leaks. True or not, the name sticks, whispers of shadow councils running the show. And the reptilian angle? It's fringe, but it's loud. David Icke says they're shapeshifters, elites in human masks. Laugh if you want, but videos pop up. Politicians' eyes flickering, skin glitching on live TV. Tech glitch? Or something slipping? Roswell's legacy isn't a cold case. It's a living shadow. If they hid the crash, gagged the witnesses, buried the files, why stop there? What if the deal's still on? Dulce's just one dot, think Area 51, Wright-Patterson, places with more locks than answers. Ever notice how UFO sightings spike near military zones? How whistleblowers keep dying? This isn't about one night in 47. It's about now. Could they be here, among us, pulling levers we don't see? If you're doubting, ask yourself, why is the government still so twitchy about a balloon? The truth's close, closer than you think. Stick around for what it all means. Roswell 1947 wasn't a fluke. It was the crack that split the dam. A crash in the desert sparked a cover-up that stretched nearly 8 decades. Debris that wouldn't bend. Witnesses threatened into silence. Files stamped non-terrestrial. It's not a theory. It's a trail. The government didn't just bury a balloon. They buried a truth too big to hold. From Jesse Marcel's confession to the Dulce shadows, every piece points to something alive. Maybe reptilian, maybe among us. This isn't about what fell. It's about what they've hidden ever since. Think it through. Why gag a rancher over weather tech? Why lock files for 70 years? The military swooped in, flipped the story, and crushed anyone who talked. Blue Book left 701 mysteries unsolved. The Pentagon admits crafts defy physics, and whistleblowers keep winding up dead. If Roswell was nothing, why the sweat? What if the conspiracy didn't end in 47? What if it's running right now behind locked gates and fake smiles? Imagine a world where the crash wasn't a one-off, but a deal sealed in blood and tech. What would you do if that broke wide open tomorrow? This is the Roswell Pulse. We don't peddle fairy tales. We dig for what's real. Roswell's just the start. The files are out there, the bases hum underground, and the skies don't lie. Hit that subscribe button. Don't miss the next drop, because the deeper we go, the wilder it gets. Share this if you're done with their excuses, if you want the lid blown off. The truth's not a gift. It's a fight. Next up, Area 51 secrets, bases too dark to name. The pulse is alive. Feel it? Join us. Don't look away now. The answers are closer than